Breaking news. An unprovoked riot took place today during a peaceful ceremony. The city was honoring hero Robert Ziegler before Monkey King terrorists viciously attacked attendees of the ceremony.
What the fuck was that? We were left stranded there. You told us there would be more policemen.
Paul, I swear to God, I was told by the mayor that they'd be sending the other departments too.
Bullshit!
Paul, I'm letting you cuss out a superior. If I wasn't on your side, I'd be suspending you right now.
Paul tried to get himself together.
Paul, what happened?
It was a setup.
By the Monkey King?
No, by our own. It was just 4 of us. Stranded, and then a big fucking semi-truck blocked us all in.
Well, maybe the Monkey King shouldn't have been terrorizing the attendees.
They weren't. They were just protesting. I saw it. They had no weapons. Not one of them had a gun.
Then who shot the cop before the SWAT team arrived?
I don't know, but it wasn't the Monkey King. It had to be one of the attendees.
Paul, they found a high-caliber bullet in the body. How in the hell did an attendee get that gun?
I think those attendees were in on it.
In on what?
In the setup, Phil. We were set up. Jesus, have you not been paying attention? And then the fucking SWAT team came in and started firing bullets inches above our heads.
What about the fire?
I examined the site once everyone cleared. It appeared to be from a glass bottle.
A Molotov cocktail. Okay, well that's obviously from the Monkey King. They lit themselves on fire not too long ago. It only makes sense that they did that shit.
Either way, that wasn't right what happened.
Well, we got lots of arrests, so you can ask away.
They shouldn't be arrested.
Paul, don't be stupid.
They did not escalate it. I'm telling you, the attendees are responsible. The stage workers didn't even know what was happening there because they all ended up being trampled. You must have some attendees locked up or at least in hospitals.
We got no report on that. The mayor wants us to just focus on the Monkey King.
Fuck the mayor.
Paul!
This is her fault. She told you she was sending in more men, and now we got...
That's enough. I'll talk with her. In the meantime, we got reporters and witnesses that you'll have to talk with.
Alex was lying in bed of a vacant building. He kept seeing the face of Michael Blumen, begging him to spare his life. His desperate cries didn't haunt Alex. The only thing that was haunting Alex was the fact that he wasn't haunted by what he did, but that he felt such satisfaction of watching a grown man beg to him. He has never had so much leverage. He was thinking that perhaps any man who is crazy and willing to do what others won't will always have leverage. The world is filled with the smart, strong, resourceful, disciplined, tough, but perhaps the trait that separates themselves from the rest is the crazy, because you can never beat crazy. The intelligent know when to quit, the strong can only lift so much, the disciplined are restricted and tough can only take so much pain. But the crazy? You can never beat crazy, because crazy doesn't know when to stop.
Lex, are you there?
I'm up here.
Deshaun walked into the vacant.
Shit, Lex, you really sleeping here?
Got nowhere else to go.
I thought you told me the landlord has given you and your moms a month to find a new joint to stay in.
Well, because of this whole should a poor kid be in a rich neighborhood debacle, the landlord kicked us out. He said if everybody knew where we lived, they could tear up his building.
That don't make no sense. Nigga, you like a hero over here? You know how many niggas from the projects want to kick some rich boy ass? Shit, that motherfucker would have made more money in his life selling rooms in his building.
Well, these rich fucks got their hands in these mayor's pockets. They'd probably send the police to the apartment, and you know landlords will tell you they do not want any police at their rentals. Shit is bad for business.
Do they really got their hands in mayor's pockets?
Have you heard of Will Hackman?
Nah, who that is?
He's this wealthy billionaire that was a part of a group chat with these other billionaires.
Thanks for clarifying that he was a wealthy billionaire, because I would have just assumed he was a regular one.
Yeah, I always find extra details are always useful. Anyway, he was on a chat with Michael Dello and Howie Schultzer.
They some rich niggas?
Oh yeah, they're definitely some rich guys. Anyway, there was a big protest at a university, and the chat revealed that they told the mayor of New York to send the police after them, and they'll fund his campaign.
Bribery.
Yes, and he did. More arrests in the first 2 weeks than the first 2 weeks of the Hong Kong protests. Huge free speech violation. Goes against every constitution right that this country represents, or at least used to represent. So to answer your question, yeah, they're involved.
Jesus, Lex, you fucked with the wrong people.
Jimmy's emotions was walking the line between excited and nervous. He knew the risks of running for president, especially for someone whose purpose of running is to change the system completely. He knew he was going to receive a big pushback, It was only a matter of how much he could take. Jimmy walked into his campaign headquarters. His campaign manager was waiting.
All right, Jim, how you doing?
Great. Excited to get going.
All right, perfect. So give me the rundown of what your campaign will be about.
Well, it's about being president, I guess.
I know, but you gotta have a theme. Many presidents before you had campaigns about changing the culture or the truth or bring America back to the golden age. You know. So what's your theme? What are your goal?
I want to take the system as we know it and flip it on its head.
Okay, so we do flip the system. That could be a good one. But how are you going to do that?
Well, one thing I'm thinking is that for certain policies, at first I want it to be for certain policies, but slowly I want it to expand to all. But for certain policies, the citizens will vote. Of course, there will be an age limit and a test that will be taken and evaluated, but I think...
So policy?
Excuse me?
Policy, that's your slogan.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's best that I emphasize through the campaign the importance of policies rather than personality.
Well, Jim, you need personality too.
I know, but people voted on personality than fucking Adam Sandler would be the most qualified president.
Right, but to be honest, Jim, as your campaign manager, my job is to give you the best advice, and to me, that vote on policy is a terrible idea.
What are you talking about?
Vote on policy. Half the country is fucking retarded. They can't even vote on where Africa is on a map, let alone policy.
The country isn't stupid, but even if it was, that's why we'll have exams. Also, that is another area I want to fix. The school system needs to be upgraded or just totally torn down and rebuilt from scratch. All these chemicals and prescription pills that are given to American kids as old as 4 years are probably what's causing the rise of all these neurological disorders, which probably is linked to IQ. Also, fluoride in our water is linked to low IQ. Lead, which is the pipes that contain our water, is linked to low IQ. We need to...
Jimmy, listen, I've been doing this for years. You're not even a politician. Not only that, you are a billionaire, so most people don't trust you anyway. We need to make you likable. Listen to what I say and you'll survive.
Megan was calling Bill on the phone.
What's up?
Bill, what the hell? You told me there wouldn't be any riots. You told me that...
Hey, where are you talking from right now?
I'm at the police station.
Why are you talking about this at the police station? Do not talk about the plan to anybody, okay? Nobody can know about what happened. Both our lives will be ruined, not to mention everybody who works at the office. Now, did you put the tracker on one of the vans?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know if you checked the news, Bill, but a riot broke out. I was knocked to the ground multiple times that the tracker fell out of my pocket and was stepped on many times.
So it's broken.
Yes,
I'm assuming it's in the evidence room at the police station.
I'd assume.
All right, don't worry about it. It'll never be revealed. We got the arrests, so maybe they can find their location through one of the members they arrested. I'll see you at the office.
Bill hung up the phone.
Excuse me, miss. The police are ready for you now.
Okay, thanks.
Megan was escorted to a private room where a policeman was waiting for her.
Hi, miss. My name is Paul. Don't worry, you're not under arrest. We just have a few questions. So you were at the ceremony, correct?
Yes, I was.
As a reporter?
Correct.
Can you recall what happened?
I was at the ceremony waiting for it to start, and then the Monkey King arrived, and I'm sorry, it's just such a blur. I'm sorry.
I'm aware you work for Bill Shea. My buddy Nick works there.
Really, Nick?
Yeah, so I know of his show pretty well, actually.
You do?
Yeah, which is why I'm confused that a reporter for Bill Shea is covering a ceremony. That doesn't really seem like his thing to report on.
Well, we're just trying to expand our horizon.
Okay, look, this is off the record. I swear. I don't care if you're a Monkey King member. I don't care if you were an attendee or if you set this whole thing up. But something went wrong during that ceremony. That ceremony was set up to be a riot. It was provoked, not by the Monkey King, but by the attendees, who, by the way, we haven't talked to a single one. There were at least a few hundred attendees at that event, and we haven't talked to any of them. A police officer was murdered, shot dead, and I saw with my own eyes that the Monkey King had no weapons. The gunshot sounded like it came from attendant side, and it was a high-caliber bullet that only high-level government agencies are allowed to have. You know that I mean it when I said it's off the record, because I'm literally blaming the people that pay my salary. So just tell me, why were you there?
I knew that the Monkey King will arrive. It only made sense. I arrived because I wanted to interview the Monkey King. Nobody will allow us to talk to them. If we don't at least give them an outlet or an opportunity, I think it will create further conflict.
I agree. But did you do this on your own, or were you working for somebody?
It was on my own.
Okay, look, if you can somehow get in contact with a member of the Monkey King, I want you to let me know.
You a police officer, they won't trust you.
I'm not going in my uniform. I have some questions to ask them. Just like you, I think we can't keep treating them like something they're not. I believe that we're being lied to about them.
Okay, I'll let you know.
All right, that's everything.
Megan and Paul exited the room and ran into Nick.
Meg, are you okay? I saw the news.
She's all right, Nick.
Thanks, Paul. She's not under arrest or anything, is she?
God, no. Why would she be?
Well, she's at a police station.
Good point. Are you going to ask how I am doing?
No.
Haha, fuck you, Nick.
I'm kidding. Are you okay?
I wasn't doing good, to be honest, but now that you're here, Nick, I am much, much worse.
That's too bad. When you're in the middle of that war zone and your life was on the line, where you're like, oh, well, hey, at least Nick isn't here or else it would really suck.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Seriously, though, did you find anything of significance in terms of evidence?
No, not really. We searched through. We saw some sort of device, but it was destroyed. No tracking number.
Strange.
All right. Well, we went through everything. Thanks for the help, Megan.
Alex was sitting around the corner with Deshaun's crew.
So Lex, you working for us now?
I don't know what you guys do. Well, I know, but at the same time, I don't know.
What kind of language was that, Lex? Lots of knows and don't knows. Do you got Tourette's or something, nigga?
Lex can help with muscle.
He got it done last night?
Oh, yeah.
Shit, I didn't know he had it in him.
An older black male was running towards the group.
Yo, Scooter, what's the matter?
I saw 5-0 around a dead body on Rupert Street. Motherfucker was found with a bullet in the head.
Alex became tense.
Was this any of you?
Fuck no, Scooter. What, you wearing a wire or something?
Listen, I'm just making sure it ain't you guys. The bosses won't be too happy about it.
Let us worry about that shit.
Alright, I'ma holler at you.
Fuck, I knew this white-ass nigga was gonna cost us.
We ditched the iron in the lake. No way to go and find it.
Look, there is no way of connecting it back to us and definitely not to you two.
It better not, Lex.
Meg arrived home in her apartment. She couldn't wait. As soon as she opened the door into her room, she immediately ran to her laptop. She looked around her desk, but she couldn't find it. She checked her pockets, but it wasn't there.
Where is it? Where is it? Shit.
Meg picked up the phone.
Sorry, I can't answer right now.
Meg, it's Nick. What's going on?
I can't find the chip.
What chip?
The chip? The thing that gives me access to the tracker? The tracker that I attach to the vans?
You can't find it?
What did I say? No, I can't find it.
When was the last time you had it?
I don't know. I thought I left it in my apartment, but it must have been in my pocket. I must have dropped it somehow.
Listen, Meg, it's no big deal. We'll find it, I promise.
Megan was on the verge of tears.
I did all that for nothing. I can't believe this.
Jimmy was ready for his first rally. He peeked through the curtains into the audience.
Man, there's more people than I thought.
Well, of course there is, hun. You've given so much to the country, they'll support you all the way.
Listen, Michelle, we probably won't win this election. The odds are not good for us to win. But I want you to remember that the whole purpose is to start a movement. If I can convince 100 more citizens to join this new movement for a new system, then it is a success.
You're a winner, Jimmy. That is your most attractive trait. So go and win.
Jimmy walked on stage. He has never done any public speaking, let alone done any public speaking in advocacy of himself. He approached the podium.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. For so long, the American people have been fed an illusion of control, that they have the ability to vote for the leader of the country, but it's not true, because you're just voting for the next puppet. A country that allows you to vote for a leader is not a democracy. It's an illusion of democracy. A democracy is a country that allows you to vote on policy. You can change the party, but you can't change the policy. The U.S. citizens never voted to invade Iraq. They never voted for the Fed to print trillions of dollars. They never voted for pharmaceutical companies to be protected from lawsuits under the PrEP Act. They never voted for anti-BDS laws. If I become the next president of the United States, I will make sure that you, the people, will vote on our next move. For the first time in America history, the power is in your hands. Many forms of societies have tried and failed. What did they all have in common? They all promised power to the people. Well, here it is. A vote for me is really a vote for you. Now, even though the power is in your hands, I will always come with the best possible options are available for you to choose. Because it is easy to manipulate. If you go into a voting booth but you only have one candidate on the ballot, well, then it's not really fair. If you go and vote on policy but there is only one option, well, then it's not really fair. But don't you worry, we will come up with the best possible options. We may encourage one over the other, but we will never enforce it. And of course, if you hate all of them, well, there will be an option to write a new one in. With a system like that, there will be no need for presidents, which means no need for lobbyists, blackmail, or threats, which means no corruption. What are they going to do? Blackmail 350 million people? Bribe them? With a simple change. The poison that has been infecting our country for too long will be eliminated and never to come back again.
Jimmy got off stage after his speech. He was feeling great.
That was great, sweetheart. They absolutely love you.
Yeah, they were fired up.
Jim, what the hell?
What's this about?
I told you not to mention any of that vote on policy shit.
Well, they seem to like it.
They do, but some very powerful people won't like it.
Well, if I piss those guys off, whoever they might be, then I think I'm doing a good thing.
All right, we'll discuss that later. For now, I got a couple big interviews for you in the next few days, then soon after is the debates.
The debates already?
Politics moves fast, Jimmy. Take a break and you'll be last place before you know it.
Megan felt like she was tearing her whole apartment down to find the chip. It was a mess. Meg opened the door.
Meg, are you okay?
Nick, I need your help.
What do you need?
I need you to help me find the chip.
The chip for the tracker?
No, the chocolate chip that I dropped on the floor. I'm baking cookies right now.
You are? I don't smell anything.
Of course I'm not making fucking cookies, Nick.
Okay, Jesus, just relax. Do you have any recollection of where it might be?
I don't know.
At the ceremony? You didn't take it to the ceremony, did you?
I don't know. I thought I didn't, but maybe I did.
Where else could you have left it?
Here.
Megan sat down, discouraged.
Nick, I think I'm going to quit my job.
What, why? Over a tracker?
Finding out where that van lead to could have given me leverage in my career. I wouldn't have to work for Bill and his clown show. Not to mention the people need to hear the side of the Monkey King in order for this country not to implode. We just lost it.
Don't quit, Meg. Don't make a bad situation worse.
It's already decided, Nick. Tomorrow will be my last day.
Alex was sitting on a bench watching Deshaun and his crew play basketball in an abandoned street.
Nigga, you just fouled me.
Nah, fool, this ain't the NBA. We playing ghetto rules.
If we playing ghetto rules, then I would have put a cap in your black ass for fouling me.
I didn't foul you, nigga.
I'm tired. I'm finna take a break.
Deshaun sat next to Alex.
What's going on, Lex?
Nothing. Just watching.
You still see his face?
Whose face?
You know whose face I'm talking about, Michael Blumen.
Yes, I still see him. It's almost like not a memory. It's more like he lives in my head. I can't stop thinking about what happened.
Deshaun was leaned over with his elbows on his knees while he was sitting. He was in deep thought. He then adjusted and sat straight up on the bench.
You know, I grew up in a ghetto-ass neighborhood. It was far south from here. My mom's told me this was a nice neighborhood. Can you believe it? Nice houses, small businesses, no crime, a community. Me and my moms moved in this area because of that, to get away from it all. And now over 90% of the city, 90% of the whole country is that ghetto-ass neighborhood down south, like an infection spreading through the land, throughout the world, Lex. Before that, I had a friend here in this neighborhood, Moby. We were homies, but he was only in this nice-ass neighborhood while I was a hood, nigga. But with this infection of shit coming to this neighborhood like fucking enemies at the gates. The only difference is we didn't know what the enemy was, and even if we did, we didn't know how to fight it. And it contaminated this whole fucking place, and I was infected by it. I stopped going to school because who gives a fuck? I need to eat. The only reason to go to school is to get food at the cafeteria. The only way I could ever put food on the table was to get a job, and the only way to get a job is at the only place that was hiring. I started slinging dope for a crew. Me and Moby joined, but see, Moby didn't know ghetto shit. He was a kid who was used to living in a world where you had a future. He grew up in this neighborhood when it was prime, before it turned ghetto. He was a part of the crew, but also had one foot out the door. He was my nigga, a brother. But he wasn't made for this life. It made him an easy target for D50. They snatched him up. I'm sure they tried to get him to snitch, but Like all us young hoppers, we didn't know shit about the executives running our crew. We were just the dope dealers. Then Moby came back. He was different. He was nervous. He said that he wanted to meet the bosses for a new idea or some shit. It made no sense. A nigga who grew up in a nice neighborhood, who didn't want to be a part of this shit now all of a sudden, has new ideas that he wants to speak to the kingpin and shit. It only meant one thing. Moby was snitching. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't give a fuck if Moby was behind 9/11. He was my boy. I loved him, but I'm a soldier, and soldiers take orders no matter what. I had to be a soldier because it was the only way I can survive and put food on my mama's plate. I met Moby one night and asked him to come with me to the park to play hoops. I had the basketball in my hands and I purposely missed the backboard so the ball would go into the bushes. Moby went into the bushes looking for the ball. It was dark out, so of course we couldn't find it. Moby's head was buried into those fucking bushes. He looked like he was stuck. And that's when I pulled my iron out and pointed it towards his back. I hesitated because how could you shoot your brother in the back? Then he found the ball. He was so excited. He turned to me and I squeezed the trigger and he dropped like a rock. But that millisecond before I shot him, I saw his face. I'll never forget that face. I can't imagine turning around and seeing your father pointing a gun at you. His face is framed and hanged in the largest wall in my mind. I envy that your first body was a scum motherfucker who tried to attack your moms and not your brother.
A police car arrived at the basketball court.
Alex Nielsen?
Yes.
We are placing you under arrest.
What for? What is this?
For murder.
Alex didn't resist. He knew it was coming.
Lex?
It's all good, Deshaun. Thanks for being my friend.
Hey Lex, remember what you told me in juvie about talking to the 5-0?
Alex laughed as he was getting cuffed.
I'll always remember.
Paul was sitting at his desk going through the bags of evidence that was collected after the ceremony. Most of it was either burnt or damaged. He then came across a small item. He wasn't sure what it was, but it clearly wasn't damaged. After further examination, Paul realized what the item was. It was a computer chip. Paul then inserted the chip into his laptop. Suddenly, the computer screen went black and then reappeared as a map with directions. Paul examined the map and noticed that the directions began at where the ceremony had taken place and ended at a certain area in the city.